to be talking about sexual reproduction, and we're just starting with the introduction to it. Now, before starting with sexual reproduction, students, you should be aware of certain important terms which we normally use when we are teaching sexual reproduction. For example, unisexual or dioecious, or bisexual, or also called as monoecious. Now, what is this? Unisexual or dioecious, students, is the term we use for organisms when two sexes are present in two different individuals. That's unisexual. For example, human being, a male and a female, sexes are present in different organisms. Whereas in bisexual, both the sexes, two sexes are present in the same individual. For example, I'm sure you know about it, earthworm or tapeworm, we call them bisexual. Now let's see gender signs. The signs are two signs like this, which is the other one represents a male sign and this one is for the female students. Another important term, students, is sexual dimorphism. Now, what does that mean? Sexual dimorphism is the term we use in the organisms when morphologically they look different. A male looks different and a female looks very different from a male. Differentiation in the morphology of the same species. Now, for example, we talk about the tapeworm again. You can see the male in here. The tail is slightly curved in male, whereas in female it is not. So externally there is difference in male and female. So we say there is sexual dimorphism, and it's very obvious in humans. You can make out the difference in a boy and a girl externally or morphologically. That's sexual dimorphism. Now, when we talk about sexual reproduction, a very interesting process. Herein in this animation, what you are seeing in here is egg is released, lot of sperms around it, one gets to fertilize, embryo, and then further fetus formed. So all these processes we are going to be dealing in case of sexual reproduction. Now first, sexual reproduction, students, is the process wherein gametes are formed. And when we say gametes are formed, they are formed by the cell division called as meiosis. This is the reduction division we are talking about. So when gametes are formed, naturally gametes are going to fuse, or we say fertilize. So fusion of gametes occur. And in which organisms? Normally we see sexual reproduction in higher plants and animals like human beings. So sexual reproduction occurring in higher organisms. Now, what exactly are the advantages of sexual reproduction? Various advantages, students. Nature generally prefers sexual reproduction only. Maternal and paternal gamete fuse, father's sperm and mother's egg. They fuse, and because of this fusion, genetic recombination occurs, and genetic recombination leads to variation, students. Remember the two key terms here introduced: genetic recombination, which is leading to variation, and variation is the key to evolution, students. And evolution will make sure that the stronger ones will survive and the weaker ones, weaker organisms are going to perish. And this will keep on improving the species. For example, some beautiful species of birds here you see. In this picture, both the birds, what you're seeing in here, are male birds. Normally in animals, male of the species is better looking than the females because it is supposed to be attracting the female or opposite gender. Now, disadvantages of sexual reproduction. It's a very complex process. It's a slow process. For example, in this picture you see elephant's baby. How long is the developmental period or the pregnancy phase? Something we call as gestation period in elephants. It's 22 months. That means close to 2 years. Mother elephant bears this baby elephant, which is a very long time. Another disadvantage is it occurs only in favorable conditions. Now, what does that mean? Students, don't get confused. Sexual intercourse can happen anytime, but the woman will get pregnant only and only when she is ovulating. So that's why we say it takes place only in the favorable conditions. Small number of offsprings are produced. That's the disadvantage of sexual reproduction. So in this module, students, we just started with the sexual reproduction. We are going to be continuing with the differences in the types of reproduction in the next module. Till then, take care.